Hi, this is George Kao, and today I present you with a simple tool that will help you create a healthier relationship with your money. I've been using this tool for at least 5 years. Probably, I can't remember how long it's been, but as long as at least 5 years, and it really has improved my sense of financial security. And having greater sense of financial security has given me more creativity and courage in my business. And I think it'll really help you to have a less anxiety and greater sense of control over your money as well. So let's get going. And this tool is free, and I'll show you how to get to it later. So this tool works best if you have a separate savings account. Okay. Uh, so first thing you do is you come into this tool and you fill out your goal amounts for whatever categories you want to fill out. So I don't have any children at this time, so I wouldn't put anything there, but I do have pets. So let's say, and these are kind of emergencies, so if something happens and you don't have insurance to cover it, uh, what would you like to have an amount in there? I have pet health insurance, but there's a deductible, and I think the deductible is something like, $500 or something like that. So I'm just going to put $500, okay, as the goal amount. Dental emergency, depending on what you think yours might be, but I think, let's say, $1,000 would be safe for that. Car emergency, so I don't actually need a car for my work, but if you do, and if your car breaks down, you need to fix it, do you have money set aside for that? It's really nice when you do. So let's just say $1,000 as well. Computer tech appliances, so if your computer breaks down, for me, for example, my computer is incredibly important for my day-to-day work. And so if my computer breaks down, I need to fix it or buy a new one. I need to have money set aside for that. And so I'm just going to say 1,500 there. Vacation. It's really important to take vacations on a regular basis for your own sanity, renewal, not burning out, creativity, etc., etc. Vacations don't have to be expensive. So I'm just going to put in here, let's just say, I'll put in 1,000, okay? 6 months of living expenses, depending on what your regular monthly expenditures are, you multiply that by 6. It's a good idea to try to save for a 6-month living expenses buffer, just in case your income for some reason stops and you need to live off your buffer for a little while. So I'm just going to say, let's say your living expenses each month is, $4,000. 6 months would be 24,000. Okay, 24,000. And you can even start this by saying, you know what, I'm just going to make it something doable, more doable for now, and I'm just going to say 3 months since I haven't saved anything here. I'm just going to do that. For retirement account, now this is also really helpful to continue saving for your retirement. I'm just going to put in 10,000. Okay. Business improvement, funds so that you can hire a business coach or invest in some business systems or whatever. Just going to say 2,500. Okay. Dream project, maybe you want to invest in real estate or whatever. For parents, if you feel like you need to support them, charity. And finally, this taxes thing is hard to say what the goal is, but basically, every month that you make money, you should set aside 30% for taxes. So let's say that the past month you made, let's say you made $3,000. Then you set aside $1,000. Okay, and then the current amount is every month when you transfer money into your savings account, try to save a little bit for each of these categories. So let's say you save $1,000, or let's say you save $500, and then you're going to save another $50 here, $100 here. You just, so that this month, you save $650, transfer that into your savings account, and then you have this much left that you're going to keep going. So just keep updating on a month-to-month basis, and I'm hoping that this is helpful for you to, as you keep updating every month and transferring more money into your savings account, eventually you want these numbers and the goal amounts to get to zero, so that you've met your goals, and that way you feel like, gosh, I have $30,000 in my savings account, and now I know what that's really set aside for. So I hope that's helpful. I'm always open to your questions. Oh, one thing I want to show you how to use it is you first have to be logged in to your Google Drive account. Google Drive is free. I use it every day. Log into your Google Drive account and then go ahead and click on the link that's in the notes of this video, and the link will bring you to this page. You then click on use this template, and that will allow you to copy this for yourself. And the yellow cells, by the way, are formulas, and don't touch those. Those are automatically updated. You just fill in everything in the white cells, and these are just for your own comments if you want to write anything there. So I hope this is helpful, and let me know if it works for you. All right, take care.
For the best liberty-oriented talk 24/7, visit LRN.FM.
So here's an ethical question for you. Is it right to actively, try to cost the government money? I mean, to initiate that process against the government. I'm not talking about defending yourself in court necessarily. That does cost the government money, but they're the ones choosing to make you be in court. I'm thinking more along the lines of suing the government or proposing 20 different House bills and forcing the State House to go through the expense of hearing them all and the time. In my own actions, I've sort of fallen on both sides of this ethical question. Prior to 2006, I didn't have any qualms about getting a House bill submitted. I had 2 bills submitted around 2006, and I went to the hearings and tried to take them through the process and turn them into law. And later on, one of the liberal activists in New Hampshire, Chaz Prohl, kind of called me out on it, and he said, well, that's costing us $1,500 per hearing, or rather, per bill. And I have to say I listened to Chaz at that time and took his advice and quit submitting bills, because I thought, well, I really don't want to add expense. I don't want to create taxpayer expense. That's not really what I'm here for. On the other hand, when you're in a conflict, to be a more worthy opponent, you're supposed to kind of cost your enemy resources. The ethical dilemma is sufficiently severe that I've been kind of paralyzed into inaction since 2006 when it comes to action that costs the government money. The most I've done is sort of, with my feet dragging and kind of reluctantly, I have kind of reluctantly, sued the government of Nashua back in, 2011 after its police arrested me for, I'm still not sure exactly what. Some people say it was for walking backwards at a Joe Biden event. But anyway, although I didn't have any qualms about beating them in court defensively, the idea of suing them over the years that followed the initial filing of the lawsuit, I became increasingly uneasy ethically about the whole idea that we might end up, what would I do if there was a monetary settlement and I was going to be getting money from the government of Nashua? If that were to happen, would it be ethical for me to take such money? Would it even be ethical for me to redirect it somewhere? Would that be an act of aggression against taxpayers? I don't know. But again, in my actions over the last 10 years, I have sort of just tried to err on the side of caution and generally not do anything that would cost taxpayer expense. Having said that, this gets even more complicated. There is always a part of me that wonders, should we automatically treat the taxpayer as though she is a bystander, a good guy? Should we automatically consider it an act of aggression against them if we weaken the people who are tormenting them by costing them money? Sure, the government that torments them will want to come after them for more money if we cost that government more money. But, especially in the federal case, the taxpayer, the federal taxpayer, who's voluntarily turning over forms and some of their income, to what extent is that person really a bystander, and to what extent are they actually reluctant accomplices in all the evils that the central government commits? Should we automatically be putting them on a pedestal, coddling them, protecting them from the central government, or is there maybe a case to be made for just going forward with weakening the government? Obviously, there are 1,000 ways to do that. I mean, I mean financially weakening it. There are a lot of, at least technically peaceable ways that you can do that. I've witnessed it in court when I've been to federal court and watched just, relatively average people really gum up the system in there with lawsuits and stuff like that. I mean, making these judges earn their pay, tying up political parties with almost no expense. I couldn't, it's too hard to make the ethical call for me to want to go do that kind of thing, but I'm reluctant to condemn it. It's an ethical question that should be thrown out there, and I don't know if I'm articulating it as simply as I probably should, but I think the idea should be thrown out there, and I hope more of you will discuss it, because I don't really have my mind fully wrapped around it yet. For now, I guess we should call it the weakening government through expense question.
LRN.FM, 24 hours of Liberty Radio every day. Now available on satellite too, at sat.lrn.fm. That's what a satellite sounds like. Put it on your unlicensed station. Wear it in your hair. But above all, don't despair. The Liberty message is getting out. And right now, you're missing it. Or maybe you're not. But skip on over to LRN.FM. Feds don't want you to hear them.